Are your offers not getting accepted? Well, today we're going to sit down with a lender buddy of mine who is going to help me go through all of the different loan types as well as some strategies to help you get your offer the one that is accepted. So, if that's what you're interested in, then stay tuned because we're getting into it right now. Hey ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, I want to welcome you to the community. My name is Jimmy Webb Jr. and if you are a real estate agent looking to double your business, well, this is the channel that helps you do that. So go ahead and subscribe right now and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to learn about the latest strategies that are working the best in today's market. I'm also helping a ton of top brokers, team leaders, and other agents partner with us at EXP, and we're having an absolute blast doing it. So listen, I'm an open book. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can shoot me a text, send me an email, or just give me a call or schedule a call below, whatever is easiest for you. And we're happy to see if it'll be a good fit for you at EXP. And without further ado, let's get over to my conversation with Chad. All right, we are officially live. I'm actually really excited for this conversation because we're going to set the record straight on a number of myths out there when it comes to buying a home, especially in this market. And to help me do that, I have my good friend, Chad Montgomery, with me today. Chad, how are you, amigo?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. Thanks for asking. So, hey, just so people know and understand who you are, you're actually more qualified than maybe most people out there because you've been on both sides for a number of years. So you were a realtor for 12 years, you said, and you've been on the loan side for 8 years now. Walk us through a little bit of that story real quick.
All right. So in 2002, I had a buddy of mine that was a roommate. His mom was a broker, and I just saw like money coming in like right over left, and I'm just like, I don't even want to finish college now. I'm going this way. So I applied my college credits, got my real estate license, sold real estate for her for a couple of years. Ended up a buddy of mine in California called and was like, "Hey, do you want to be my partner in Orange County?" And I'm born and raised Texas. I've never left Texas at that point. I'm like, "Do you want? So you want me to come to Orange County?" I was like, "I'll come down there." I was like, "Nice little couple, weekend vacation. That'll be fun." But I went down there, and they just had it's a different world in real estate from what it was in Texas. So if you're at that time, this is pre 2007. So if you were licensed as a real estate agent, you could also do mortgages. So it's kind of like, well, I can double dip and get the best of both worlds there, and it was great. So let's just say I took him up on the opportunity. Lived in Huntington Beach, and we got to list and sell and buy properties from Laguna Beach, just all over San Clemente. It was a great experience.
Yeah, sounds rough.
2007. So
that's cool, man. So let's talk about. That's what we want to talk about today. Are the loan side, because not all loans are created equal, right? Especially in this seller's market that we're currently in. So when we're talking about loans, we're talking about buyers. Okay, so that's what we're focused on today. But when we work with a buyer, the goal is to buy a house. We're not buying a loan. Okay, the end game is to help them get the house that they want. Okay, and in order to have your offer be the offer that's accepted, it's got to be a strong offer. Now, that term strong offer, we hear it a lot, but some people might not know exactly what that means. So let's define what a strong offer is. I think that a strong offer is the offer that has the least amount of risk when it comes to completing the deal, right? So let's talk about when a listing agent, Chad, is looking at different offers with their sellers, walk us through what's going on at that kitchen table, right? What is the conversation that's taking place, and why are some offers not even really getting looked at?
no, that's a great question, especially in this market right now. It's just, it's a seller's market, and it's a seller's market that probably most agents have never seen before. So, if you haven't been in the game for a while, you haven't seen a market like this. And I can tell you, I being licensed since 2002, I have not seen a market like this. So it's kind of like the wild, wild west, but it's cool if you know how to navigate it. So a lot of those conversations at the kitchen tables right now are looking a little bit like, okay, first we have this, and this is an FHA loan. Here's there it carries a lot of risk. I'm gonna say just in parentheses because
We'll put it in this pile over here.
yeah, and so we've got the FHA and pretty much government loans is what they're going to look at and say there's too much risk. We have but now we have our conventionals. Let's take a look at this conventional, or we have some, we have a conventional with cash, or we have a cash offer. Let's talk about these, and pretty much they'll look at the first one and say why that one's risky. Say let's call it an FHA. They'll look at the second one and say okay, it's a VA, and say here's why it's risky. And the thing, and this is what kind of bothers me, is the VA loan. Well, that's for veterans. It's for military. It's for the military spouse. They can use that, whether you're active, non-active. And the thing right now, if you're trying to write a VA loan and you want to make a strong offer, writing that VA loan is probably not in the best interest of your client. Because again, I mean, I think you put it perfectly. They're buying a home. They're not buying the loan type. And so there's a lot of different ways that we can look at that and kind of take some of the best parts about the VA loan and move it over here to conventional, to where it's like we can mush that together and say, look, this is pretty much what you were wanting in the loan, but to buy the house.
Well, let me stop you right there real quick. I don't want to get to the good part yet. Let's talk about why are these kinds of loans, these government loans, what's risky about them? Let's educate a little bit.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just encompass, let's say government loans. And so the two major ones are going to be FHA and VA. So when we're talking and we're looking at a VA loan, well, number one, there's zero down. It's going to have a VA appraisal. What that means is on the loan type, when they come in and say, here's where we're at, and with everything going from houses now are going 25,000 over, $50,000 over, $75,000 over, $100,000 over asking price, there's a good chance that house is not going to appraise for what it's going for. In that case, the VA loan, that's a dead deal unless
So
they
what
just
happens
with that cash.
Exactly. What happens when a home doesn't appraise? Just for the buyer. Well, let's educate the buyer who might not know what happens when.
So when the loan doesn't appraise, the lender can't give you that loan. So that's just it's not gonna happen. The only way that can happen from that point on is, let's say that you fall, and I'm just gonna pull out a number, but let's say you fall $40,000 short of appraisal. So if you've got $40,000 in assets and you're willing to pay the extra $40,000 in cash, that's fine. Most people don't have that kind of money sitting around that they want to pay extra because the house didn't appraise. Most people are like, well, no, I'm not going to pay that anyway.
So the loan will go up to a certain amount. You said earlier that it wouldn't, I forget exactly what you said, but the loan would still be good up to whatever they approved you for. But anything above that, if it gets appraised for something beyond that,
well,
then you got to come up with the
it's
difference.
not what you're approved for. The house has to appraise what you're pay. So if let's say that you've negotiated a price,
we had a little internet.
And
hang on, Chad. We had some internet. Say it again.
Okay, so it's going to appraise for, let's say, 300,000. That's the price. That's the offer price.
Sure.
So if it appraises, and let's say we're $50,000 over, if it appraises at 275, it means to get that VA loan, you need $25,000 cash, or that loan's not going through.
Complete the loan, you have to come up with the extra.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Yep. So at the table, when they're going through this, any good listing agent is going to be able to explain that. So I've seen a lot of agents that are saying, well, hey, look, this is just the market. You're going to have to go 100,000 over because you're using a VA loan. And they're looking at it. They're not looking at the price. They're looking at the loan type, and they're looking at the strength of the loan or of the offer. So with both of those two things put together, it's really hard for a lot of agents to write a strong offer on a VA loan.
So what about FHA? What makes FHA? Let's talk about the VA appraisal. Like, what happens? What's different about a VA appraisal versus some other kind of appraisal?
Okay, so a VA appraisal, I mean, they're going to go in, they're going to look for certain things. I mean, you can't. I mean, a VA loan is not going to let you do like a investment property or anything like that. It has to be your primary residence, number one, and number two, everything has to be structurally sound. So if it has any kind of foundation problem, which I'm in Texas and it's, as we all know, that happens pretty regularly. So any type of foundation problem, no good. So, and that's putting it back on the seller, which again creates a little bit more risk for that seller. So we want, and there's several other things, roof, structure, anything structural that they can consider structural will kill that VA loan. We want to be able to take the risk out. And if you're a seller or a listing agent sitting at that kitchen table, like we were talking about, there could be unforeseen damages that you haven't seen yet. Maybe you haven't had a pre-inspection. Maybe you haven't done these things and you don't know about them. If that's a possibility, they're going to overlook that one every single time.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they're buying with us, they're doing a pre-inspection before.
And that's why they did. If they're not, which they should be. So.
That's kind of a prerequisite. So you don't want any surprises on the back end. That's for sure.
No, absolutely.
So okay, so that's good. So let's talk about the FHA a little bit. Let's talk about where's the risk involved in the FHA loan.
So the FHA, I mean, you're going to have an FHA appraiser that's going to say pretty much the same thing that a VA appraiser is going to do as well. So a lot of the times on a VA or on an FHA, we're going to be looking at the appraiser coming out. If the house, for any reason, if it has any kind of roof damage, anything structural, anything even cosmetic on a lot of FHA loans that are a little more overboard, they're going to be a little bit stricter. And they're going to say, this has to be fixed. When an appraiser comes in and says, look, this has to be fixed, now that's back on the seller. So if it's, let's say that it's a $10,000 fix, or let's call it a $2,000 fix, they're going to invest $2,000 so that they can take this one deal when now you're getting 25 offers on day one of it hitting the market. I mean, from a seller standpoint, why would they do that?
Yeah, I think that's important for any buyer to understand. Like, look, buyer, put yourself in the seller's shoes for a second. Like, why would they?
Exactly.
Because they're going to have to come out of pocket for that. Otherwise, if they don't want to do that, then the deal's it's done, right? So, I mean, like you're saying, right now when you've got multiple offers basically on every home out there, those kinds of things aren't going to fly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're sitting on even 10 offers, I mean, are you going to take the one that's going to cost you money, or are you going to take the one that's just a smooth, easy transition from selling my house, move it out of my house, and now I'm moving on? I mean, that's what most sellers want right now, and that's what they're getting. So that's the expectation as well.
Exactly. So now hope isn't completely lost for people who want to, do a VA loan or an FHA loan, because we were talking about the other day about how you can and you mentioned it, how you can take the parts of that loan, the good parts, but put it into a conventional loan so that it's more attractive. Talk about that.
Exactly. So this is what I'm doing with my clients right now. And my entire branch is doing this because we've had, just an extreme amount of success with this. So we have and I'm going to use VA for the example right here, but
I like it.
So VA, they want to use it because there's zero money down. That's a huge attraction to a VA loan. I mean, you served our country, you came back, you want to use your VA loan. The market right now, like we were just talking about, it's not fitting. It's oil and water and it's not mixing. They're not looking at VA loans because of the risk of the seller. So we can take a VA loan, and now this is the conversation that I find a lot of people, a lot of lenders, a lot of agents, they don't want to have this conversation saying, great, I know what you want, but kind of like you said earlier, they want to buy a house. They don't want a loan. So I'm going to say, look, I know you want to use your VA loan. We're going to go conventional though. Here's why. It's more likely to be looked at. So once you've explained one VA loan, the rest of them, they're like, oh, that's a VA loan. And they just keep going. It doesn't matter if you're $25,000 over asking price or $100,000 over asking price. They see the risk, not the money. Because if the risk is there, if you're $100,000 over, it doesn't matter. If the loan doesn't go through, you don't get it anyway. So what we're doing now is I'm getting them to go conventional. And there's a lot of great deals out there. And this will work with the VA or with the FHA buyers as well, not just VA. So one of them is going to be DPA, down payment assistance, which I mean, if you've seen a lot of the things that I've done, I work a lot with DPA. So there's a lot of lenders that won't even bring it up right now. Again, with this market, DPA is down payment assistance that it's not profitable for the lender. So once you pay all your employees and things like that, it's hard to make any kind of a profit. So people just aren't doing it. But with the way that we have it structured, it helps the buyer. And we're not here to see how much profit we're going to make on a monthly basis. I know that's what keeps a business running, but the referrals I've gotten off of them, it's well worth it. And you're helping a buyer get into a home that he otherwise wouldn't get into. On DPA, it'll cover up to 5% of a down payment, which is, to me, that's phenomenal. So if you're looking at, now we'll go FHA, first time home buyer, they're going to be I get them a 3% conventional loan. But let's just say they're not a first time home buyer. I get you a 5% conventional loan. So that 5% and the 5%, we just kind of max those out. And now you're back to a zero down payment. So on your VA loan that you were so excited about because you had to put nothing down, I'll put you in a conventional and be able to say, look, we can still get you that zero down payment. And so now, I mean, let's go back to the kitchen table with the seller. They're flipping through government loan, government loan, government. Oh, here's a great conventional loan. And it still has a lot of the same benefits as a VA. So now you've gone from, they've explained one VA loan, they're flipping through and they're now bypassing all the rest of them. They're like, oh, conventional. So now they're looking at it and saying, okay, here's where we're at. So number one, that's how you're going to get your loans to be actually seen. And before they can be accepted and executed, they have to be seen.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the reason why people want to use that VA loan is because of the no down payment, the no mortgage insurance as well. And, but sometimes people get so just like sucked into, oh, I need to use a VA loan. Well, it's not, you don't need a VA loan. You just want the no down payment. So if we can get creative about how to get you in a situation where you still have no down payment, but your loan is still, or increases the strength of the offer, like we were talking about earlier, getting back to that term, right? Creating a strong offer. Well, now you get what you really wanted. It's just something else, right? So talk about, I know you mentioned MCC as well. Let's talk about that.
MCC. So this is something that I really don't hear a lot about, and I'm a little bit shocked about it. But it's just a mortgage credit certification, and almost anybody that applies for.
Oh man, it happened again.
Okay. So
hang on, Chad. We have another internet.
It's great. Like I'm about to get excited right here, Jimmy. So
hang on.
It's number one.
Chad, we had the internet happen. You got all excited. Your excitement just made the internet flutter.
My excitement crashed the internet.
We're crashing the internet right now. All right, so start up. Let's talk about MCC. Give it to me.
MCC. So mortgage credit certificate. And why more people don't use them, why people don't know about them, it's still beyond me. But here's what it is. You take a class prior to buying the home, and it's not like a weekend seminar kind of class. It's just a class you take. It's about 4 hours. You can do this, easy on a Saturday. You take that class. It's going to help you with your down payment. And guess what? A year after you bought your home, right now in Texas, it's $7,000 in tax credit that you're going to get back off the interest of the home. 7,000. But then
What did you say? How much?
7,000.
That's not bad. I'll take
Hey,
that.
but guess what happens year number 2?
What?
Well, you do it again. You're on the MCC loan, and you get another 7,000 year 2. And I'm going to say you can do it year 3, year 4, year 5. It's going to keep happening. So if I were to tell you, like, hey, look, I'm going to pull you out of this FHA, or I'm going to pull you out of this VA, I'm going to put you in this MCC. Here's what happens. You think that if most buyers knew about it, they would do it? I'm sitting here thinking right now, I'm like, why didn't I do it? It's because when I bought this house, wasn't available, didn't know about it. So that's a great tool. And like I said, it's just, it's an easy way to keep making money off of a purchase of a home. So for a buyer, that's something that you have to have in place, is making sure that you're getting a good ROI on your investment of a good home.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, this is why, I like working with you, Chad, not only because you got the best beard in the game, but also because, I mean, it's, just, you got to get creative in this market, and, you're not a lazy person. I think that's very clear. And you're looking after, it's the old Zig Ziglar. You help enough people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. And so, a lot of loan officers, let's call it what it is. I mean, they're being selfish about not getting creative about, okay, how can I help this person actually get the home that they want? Knowing full well that VA loan that they're in right now isn't going to get them that isn't going to get their offer accepted at that kitchen table, right? So that's what I like about what you're doing, man, is we're getting creative. We know everything. We got the full buffet out, and we're getting able to pick and choose from everything that's available. And, I love how radically transparent you are, to steal, Ray Dalio's principle,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's easy I think you can already tell by the information that I'm giving. A lot of lenders, they don't really like me. They may not be the biggest fans of me, but guess what? All of my agents, all of my partners, and the people that work with me, they are. And number 2, if I can just step back real fast, I want to talk about an FHA loan.
Let's do it. Yeah, we're not done.
Oh, good. Okay. I know we talked a lot about VA, and I'm just like, well, I talked a little bit about FHA. FHA, I mean, people are looking, a lot of lenders look down on them, especially in this market because of the reasons I just explained. But the way that they work is they're not bad loans, and they just have like a stigma in the lending institute, like in the lending industry. But it's great for first-time home buyers. I mean, you're looking at 3.5% on FHA. You can have a little bit lower of a credit score, and still be able to get a home. So I mean, I don't mind telling you. I mean, but like the first home that I ever bought was on an FHA loan, and and it was great. The only thing is that was then, and this is now. The market now is a little bit different. So one of the things that I used on an FHA loan, so let's just say that they're just not where they need to be to get a conventional loan.
Mm-hmm.
So at my branch, we invest into our clients to be able to help them more. And kind of like you said, I mean, you know this because I think we've used this before, but the credit simulator that we have, yeah. You can buy these things for, I mean, it doesn't cost much monthly or anything like that, but we spend pretty good money on one that works amazing. There's a basic version, there's a standard version, there's a pro version.
What's it do?
All right, so this is a great thing. So at the pro version, it's going to tell me what your credit score is. It's going to tell me right next to it what your credit score could be within the next 30 days. Furthermore, it's going to tell me exactly how to get you from point A to point B. So maybe now, let's say that we're at a 600 credit score. Not quite there for a conventional loan, but we're not far away. So let's say that it gets you an extra 50 points in 30 days. And I've seen some of these things, and I know a lot about credit, but I'm not a credit expert. seen one is pay off $21 off a Kohl's card to get you 30 points, and now you're at conventional. So,
That's
so
that's
so now I'm going to ask you from a realtor standpoint, me from a lender, if I could get your guy or your client, your guy, your girl, if I sit them over FHA, it's going to be hard for you to put them in a home. Would you agree?
mm-hmm.
Or to get a loan accepted.
Mm-hmm.
If I sent them over conventional because I did a little bit more work and it took 30 days to do, which way would you rather me send them to you?
Gee, let me think about it.
Exactly. So, I mean,
But that's part of my job too, is upfront. And we're gonna put this video on a couple different channels. So we're talking to some different audiences. We're talking to buyers. We're talking to educating agents as well. We're educating loan officers as well. From an agent perspective, right? That's part of my job, is to let my client know, hey, this is what based on what I'm hearing about your situation, you might have to do this in order to, so your time frame, like we might have to start a little earlier, or you might have to extend this out if you were looking to move next week. And so you just, that's part of the whole education process, right? And so
absolutely. And
but you were going to say something. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's once you get an AE and that's an approved eligible, most lenders are like, okay, here we go, and it's all about putting it on the realtor now. Well, if the realtor can't close an FHA loan, then it's the realtor's fault. Well, what you mentioned earlier, I've been on both sides of the coin. Well, I know in this market, you can be one of the best realtors in the game, and it's still going to be extremely hard to get that FHA loan approved or get it even looked at to where you can get it accepted and then executed. So I'm trying to help out realtors with their job as well. So, I mean, the buyer doesn't get a home until he has a strong offer. And if we want to talk to realtors, you don't get paid until the home closes and funds.
Mm-hmm.
And as a lender, I'm right there with the realtors too. I don't get paid unless I do my job 110%. So this is what we're looking for. We're making it a win-win-win all the way around. All it takes is just putting a little bit of extra effort into it. It's not anything that's really that much more difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta work together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
crazy what happens when we collaborate.
Man, I see real estate agents and lenders just sitting there like arguing on Instagram and Facebook, and they're just butting heads, being like, "It's the lender's fault. It's the real." I'm like, I'm just gonna watch you guys because I love my realtors. Like, I'm gonna help them out. Like, I'm not gonna put blame on them. I want to help them. Like, you tell me your problems. Let me see what I can do on my side. And it's I got to tell you, man, a lot more buyers are getting homes that way than they are the other way.
I love that, man. That's the end game. People are moving, especially, coming up. I mean, right now we're in April, depending on when you watch this, but summertime, it's gonna be wild, and people want to get in. And if they keep getting let down over and over and over again, their offers aren't getting accepted, hey, whose fault is it really? Is it the lender's fault really? Well, as an agent, I'm taking some responsibility because, I should have known that, or I should have known what all my options are for my client to get them the strongest offer, right? It's all about being in a strong negotiating position, right? Like we talk about in NAEA, being an expert advisor, you have to understand what's going to get the job done. And so that's what, and you come from that same training way back in the day, man, with Jay and Mike and everybody. So
you got to have it, man. You got to be that certified expert buying advisor. So
yeah, so very cool. Well, yeah, I think, do you have anything else? I think this has been a pretty good conversation so far.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's been great talking with you, Jimmy, man. I appreciate the interview. Everything's been, like I said, everything's been going great. We're doing a lot of other big things. We were talking about the simulator, and just one more thing real fast.
Come on.
But this is pretty new. So I've actually acquired a credit repair company that works in the branch with us.
In-house.
I don't even know. I don't know if you've ever had to send somebody to a credit repair specialist or anything like that, but anybody that wants to, put down a post being like, well, yeah, I get X amount back. I'm going to bet that most people can't say that they've gotten more than 3 clients back once they send them off. And I don't think it's the place that you're sending them. I think that, the people that do credit repair can do a phenomenal job boosting credit. My guys, they're not trying to boost the credit. They're trying to get them loan approval. That's it. That's their only job. So if their score goes up 20 points, but they can get a conventional loan, that's what my guys do. So again, it's putting a little bit more in to help eliminate risk. And that's, really, to have the strongest offer, all you got to have is you got to eliminate risk for the seller to where they feel safe. And once you do that, man, your buyers are going to be happy with you. They're going to love you.
Smiles are what it's all about, man.
Exactly. That's it.
Man, I think we might have to do some more of these. We might have to, drop one of these once a quarter or something. Just keep people updated on what's going on. Just keep people educated, man. I think, man, what I like about working with you, Chad, like I said before, just the transparency, just the creativity. I know where your office is, so I can go. This ain't Quicken Loans, people. Okay, like I don't know who. If I make Quicken, I don't know who's really dealing with my thing. But I know where your office is. I can come find it. You're local here in Texas, and it's. I think your hard work is paying off, man. So, man,
thank you.
Yeah, if people want to get a hold of you, Chad, how would people get a hold of you?
I'll tell you, I'm old school, man. Like I would love to have a phone conversation just right off the bat. Like a lot of people are like, well, just email. No, just call me.
Or text. Can they text? Some people like to text.
Text. Yeah, you could text me, call me, and we'll set up a time. That phone call may be short. It may be like, hey, look, I'm available at 7:00. Can we talk then? But I like the phone calls, man. Like,
what's the number?
So I'm going to give it. Everybody, get your pens and papers. We all ready?
We'll put it in the description below too.
Oh, so we don't have to wait like 5 minutes?
No.
Okay.
I like the dramatic though. Drum roll, please.
I like to have fun, man. Like you've been to my office, man. Like we all have fun up there. So it's something that we build a culture around, and it's something that, we have space for all of our agents too. So if an agent wants to come up there and just work in our office with us, we encourage that because we have fun. We'll bring in lunch. We have fun. Like the job's no good if you're not having fun doing it. So, but you can always reach me. Personal cell 972-658-7462.
Perfect, man.
And even if you want just more information, if you're an agent or a buyer, either one, if you just want more information, I'll be happy to give that to you.
I love that, man. So yeah, we'll put that again in the description below for everybody. And yeah, we'll have to do another one of these conversations down the road and talk about some other stuff. Just education is the name of the game. I think the more people know.
The industry's always changing, man. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's as it updates, we'll keep everybody updated.
Absolutely. So hey guys, if you like what you heard today, smash that like button, subscribe as well. If you want to be notified the next time we get Chad on here, then hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. What's your experience been like with these different kinds of loans? Let's start a conversation in the comments down below. Let's get it going down there. So hey Chad, again, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
I look forward to doing it again.
Good deal.
All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you on the next video.
Take care.